Hi guys, how are you all today? I hope everybody's doing okay. Good to see you, Marcia. It's a Christmas week and the family is starting to arrive at my house. I don't know about y'all, but mine are here. So my getting ready is basically over and done. But since I know my dad will not be watching, I'll share what we made today just because I've got to get his present off to him. And you all may be doing last minute things. So this is a fun one to do last minute. We are big Tennessee fans, so I made a I Love Jesus in Tennessee for him. And he is a missionary. So, oops, I just threw it on the floor. Oh well. Let's see if I can pick that back up. So hi Terry, hi Robin, hi Mary and Lori and Charlene. The gang's all rolling in. Good to see you, Joyce. Good to see you, Charlene. So today is not going to be a real long one. I do have a couple of questions that I'm going to try to get ready. So we get answered for you. And I've got a last minute possibility for you if you're still looking for gift ideas. Christmas towels are always a good thing. And you could make it to whatever happy holiday that you do. But obviously at my house, we celebrate Christmas. So, and Merry Christmas to everybody. We haven't had Christmas at my house in a long time. So with the family coming. So this is going to be kind of quite the experience. So, all right, guys, let's start sharing my screen. We're going to start in BES4 today, and then I'll answer a few questions. So I think my dad will love his gift. I think it's right up his alley. I saw something similar to it on Amazon, but it wouldn't get there till after Christmas. So I was like, no, I'll make this one and get this done. So let's see here. Let me go to my screen sharing and share my screen here and pop it up. Okay, guys. So let's go over here and go to the Home tab first, because it always starts out at the Home tab after your welcome screen pops up. We're going to touch the Tools tab, and we're going to touch Word Collage. So there are tons of built-in shapes here. And you can also, if you've got Power Pack, I believe it is 1, you can bring in, oops, I've got something tangled at my feet. You can also bring in your own shapes and save them. So if you have an FCM file, you could bring an FCM file in, and you could actually save it as a word collage shape. So let's go down here to my stockings is what we're going to go for today. Where would that be? I need to turn my screen here so I can see. Oops, ST. So I saw it just a minute. Not a sock. I'd be darned, I just used it. Where did it go? All right, guys. We may just use the sock, but I swear I saw a stocking in here because there it is, stocking. Stocking number 2. So what I did with this one is I made it taller. So if you want it disproportional, so if you don't like the squatty stocking, you can make it disproportional by taking off the maintain aspect ratio. Let's make this one about 10 inches tall. And let's make it a little bit wider. And I've already got my words picked, and so I'm just going to copy and paste them. If not, you want to type them in and put a comma in between them. You can choose the font that you want to choose. I'm going to go ahead and go with Drake for now. I'm going to choose horizontal, vertical, and diagonal as my options. Any makes them go upside down. So I kind of like mine oriented right side up all the time. So I go ahead and do this. And Terry, no, I don't like BES better than PE Design 11. There's just some tools that it has in it that PE Design doesn't have. If I'm digitizing, I usually am in PE Design. If I want to play with words, then I'll come in here to BES4. I'm going to go ahead and generate again. And here's the thing about word collage. When you get the arrangement of letters that you like, regardless of the color, go ahead and click OK, because you can always change your colors but it's randomly generating these words. So once it has them, once you get the arrangement of words that you like, go ahead and click OK. Otherwise, just keep clicking until you find something that you like. I'm going to go one more time, maybe two. We'll see. I kind of like that, but I think I want to do one more thing. I want to make my stocking a little bit taller. So I'm going to increase that height. So let's generate it again. Now, if you are doing a towel, you may not want it this big. So let's go back down to 10. I'll go back down. Generate one more time. That kind of looked a little bit too squatty. Now, if you want to make it an applique, you can go ahead and choose applique. If you wanted to applique it on something and then do the words on something and then applique it to an item, you could do that. You have total control. If you can't go back, that's the thing. So if you like one, go ahead and click OK. You can come back in. If you copy your words to your clipboard, you can come back in and generate again. But just remember that you can't back up. So it randomly generates them. When you find something that you like, go ahead and click OK. I'm going to go ahead and click OK right there. If my mouse will cooperate. There we go. Come on. And it's going to generate. So now if I want to change my colors, I can simply click on the color arrangement. And let's say we want that to be green. And let's say I want this to be red. And let's make this one yellow or orange, a gold. Let's make it a golden color. And I want to do a darker green. Actually, no, let's do a lighter green there. And let's see here. You get the idea here. It becomes rather fun when you just kind of play with your colors. And you can always change things up, which is what I'm about to do. I'm going to give it another red color in there, a different color. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start taking a few words out. And I may play. And if I don't like like I said, I consider the original thing that it does a template that I can then play around with, because this one got a little cram packed. It gave me a ton of stuff, and I don't necessarily need all of those. And I may want Jesus to be right smack dab in the middle, which is what I want him to do. So I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to rotate him, because Jesus is the reason for the season, right? So let's take him and rotate him, and let's change his color to the green that I chose. And I'm going to go ahead and put love out here to the side, and I'm going to go to my home tab now. Let's take a few others out. Let's change that one to red. And let's take this stocking out and take the fun out. I'll put family right. Yeah. There we go. So now let's go add designs. So I'm going to choose add design. You can tell I didn't work on this one necessarily earlier. And let's see what designs that we have in here. Oh, a star would be pretty. So let's see if we put a star right here, what that looks like. You just left click to insert it once you select it. So I'm going to plop my star right there. And if you don't want the little swirls underneath it, you don't have to have them. If you want to get rid of your swirls, come down to find them, select them, and then just press delete on your keyboard. I'm actually going to leave those in, but I want to make them a different color. I want to make them more of a golden. So there we go. Just change the color. Now let's come back in and add designs again. See what else we've got. Oh, we've got a pretty little candle there. Let's pop our candle down there. I'm going to select it and move it around a little bit. We need something on the tip. So let's go see what else we've got. I'm pretty sure, yep, I've got a tree. So I'm going to select my tree and click it and place it in. and move my family out a little bit, and we'll come back in. Like I said, we can always adjust and arrange and add things in. If you wanted your words spaced out further, you could tell it not to give you as many words. So it has a maximum number of paths that are in the word collage. And if you change that to a lower number, you don't get as many words. Let's take this fun, move it over. Let's put I think I want my presents here. I want my stocking here. We're going to move fun up just a little bit, and we're going to move in a little love and rotate it. So if you want to get fancy here, you could also change the word style. So if you want to pick a different font style, I could have chosen two different ones in the word collage itself, but if I want to play with it while I'm here, I can certainly do that, and you can resize the word. You can also you can go to envelope text. So let's say I don't want that love to be lowercase. This envelope text works better when you have uppercase. So we could change that to all uppercase. And then choose your envelope text. Let's say we want to have it bump just out. So I would say, which one do I want? This one right here, bridge concave. And if you want to adjust that bridge, you go back to your text tool, and there's this little circle. So let me zoom in so you can see. If I come right here and grab my text tool again, that little pink circle right there allows you to bump it how you want it to go. I would then select it again and rotate it. So now you can see that my love is adjusted a bit, and it's rounding that little curve. Let's see what else we can put in here. Let's go back to add design, and let's see what else we have that's somewhat. Oh, how about him? Let's see how big he is when I insert him. Oh, that's pretty good size. So let's take fun and family and put my little gingerbread man there. Where is a yellow fun? Here's a yellow fun. And let's just rotate him. So I'm going to go to my arrange tab, and I'm going to rotate him 90 degrees to the right. There we go. It's looking pretty good. Let's see here. What else do we want? Let's take this family, and let's rotate him 90 degrees to the right, which would be the last selection that I made. So that's pretty good. Let's put a little fun back in it. Let's find a small fun. Here's a small fun. And I'm actually pretty happy with that. So do I have a Santa in there anywhere? Yeah, I've got quite a few Santas. Let's change one of these Santas to gold, which would be right there. And now I'm just going to select everything that I don't want to be in it. Highlight it. Oops, go back to my select tool. Highlight it. And delete them. So now I have basically what I want. If you want to play with any others, you can obviously move things around still. You're not set in stone till you decide to send it to your machine. And that one's pretty good to go. Now, if I go up to the application button and choose Save As, you want to save it in your machine format. If you want to come back and play with it later, you need to save the BRF format. Otherwise, you can save it directly to your machine format. Now, if you have set your preferences up like I have mine set up, you can simply save it as the PES file. So in my preferences on the formats, do you see this auto save BRF? If I set my preferences up to save it as auto BRF, then it will automatically save my BRF file when I save my PES file. So I'm going to go up to Save As, change it down here to PES, and we'll call this Stocking. Oops. Word collage. And I'm going to save that. And I'm ready to stitch it. So if you had decided that it's a fuzzy towel and you want to put a recipe on it and you forgot to do that in the first place, you can select it all by drawing on it, going to your home tab, choosing select all, or going up to the very top and choosing all items in your sequence view window. All three of those will select all. You can then right mouse click on it and choose apply recipe and apply the recipe of your choice if you forgot to set that up to begin with. I tend to apply my recipe after I'm done. It's just my method of madness. And I've got 2 Jesuses right there, so let's change one of those to family. There we go. And it's ready to go. So I would go back and do save as again. Make sure I choose my version that I want it to save as. It's going to tell me it's already there. Do I want to save it? It's going to tell me my BRF file is there. Do I want to save it? And I do. And I'm done. So you guys can have fun and play with your word collage. So let me go up here and look and see what questions I missed. Cindy, I agree with, well, I won't say it's my favorite, but I do love it with all my power packs. It's a lot of fun to play with. Cindy, it depends. I mean, we are now in P Design version 11. So, I mean, there's everything from 1 to 11. Next is probably the most common one that's out there these days, which was version 9. So if you're in Next, you're 2 down from what we are currently in. So Kelly, as I said, I can't go back and do it. I can't go back and change my mind. I can go back in and do another one. Yeah, I could hit save and open a new one and regenerate. So let me show you what I mean by that. So if I come back over here, if I press new page, remember I copied all my words. So I'll go back into word collage, find that stocking again. Hopefully it won't elude me this time. There it is. And make my size changes. This time I'll just leave it proportional and go up to 10 inches. Oops. Got a little excited. And I could always just type in 10, which is what I'm going to do. Highlight the words that are in word collage, Control V to paste. So you all asked about spacing out words. So you'll see right here it says max number of paths 50. I'm going to generate and show you what that does first, because that's what I had before. And if you're celebrating a different holiday, I mean, a mitten is always a good one for the wintertime. And there's a mitten in here that turns out really, really cute. You could put the snowflakes and stuff in there. So there's my max number of paths at 50. If I change that down to, let's say, 30 and generate, and I actually do like that collage, you'll notice how few the words you get in there. Let's go to 40 and see if we get a somewhere in between. So, I mean, you can tell that just changing that number of paths changes what happens. You can also increase and decrease the number of colors that you have. So right now I've got max number of colors at 5. Let's generate it at 7 if you wanted more colors. And if you decide you don't, you'll notice you get fewer words when it decides to do the diagonals, but that one's a pretty good arrangement. I do like how it tucked Jesus right in there. When you're done, once again, just go ahead and touch OK. And then you're ready to start customizing it. All right, let me come back up here. You've got a new beehive, Margaret, huh? Cindy, I don't know which one you have. So you get new features with every version that you get. The most current version added, what did it add? It added font mapping. It added decorative fills. It added a stitch creator. It added the ability to create your own decorative fills. It added the ability to send things to your Luminaire or your a wirelessly enabled internal wireless card machine. I'm trying to think. There are some other things, but those are the major ones. It added automatic color change. It's been a long time since I thought about what it added differently. So let me explore that again. I'm sure I've done it in one lesson or another, but going back to remember which one I did that on would be a nightmare. Oh, it's cold and rainy. Well, the rain stayed south of us today. It's cold and yucky, but it's not raining here today. Shirley, P Design does not have the word collage. That is a BES feature. So it's also in BES Blue. It's in BES4 and BESBlue. The difference between the two BESs are the BES Blue doesn't have the ability to add power packs, and BES Blue does not have wireless capability or the cloud. So those are the biggest differences between the two versions of BES. Yeah, that would be kind of fun if you did it as a applique. You could do an in the hoop project with it for sure. There are 3 power packs sharing currently. There's Power Pack 1, which added nap control, convert to runs, convert to decorative fills. It gave two-way directional communication to the Dream Machine and anything that saves out as a PHC file, not a PHX, a PHC. It, trying to think, it added wireless to the scan and cut machine as well. Power Pack 2 is all about artwork for your scan and cut machine, but having artwork allows you to do a few other things. Power Pack 3 is templates. So, I mean, it basically has preset templates that you can basically customize with your names and things that you want to do. So, if I were a beginner, I'm looking at the wrong, there we go. If I were a beginner, I keep looking sideways. If I were a beginner, I would choose BES4 simply because you're probably not going to get into the digitizing side of things. Most of the time, you're bringing in a design that you've purchased from somewhere else and adding text to it. And BES4 has 200 digitized fonts. That's beautiful. And BES Blue does. I would probably pick BES4 over Blue because as you grow as an embroiderer, you can add features to it. Thanks, Leanne. I hope to see you next year as well. Hopefully you'll be able to get out of Australia and join us here. Everything that these are done, the power packs are purchased from a brother dealer. So you would have to contact your local brother dealer. Well, Marcia, I'm not brother sponsored today, so I'll tell you where I personally buy my vinyl. Mid-South Crafting. Okay. They've got a variety. It's always good stuff. That's where I buy my vinyl. If I'm doing a brother project, I do use the Brother Craft vinyl, but if I need permanent vinyl, then I go elsewhere. So did you take your scraper tool and rub it down over the top of it? That's really a good way to try to get it to transfer. And then if you'll turn it over and peel the backing away instead of trying to lift it with the transfer tape, sometimes that works easier. You can just kind of roll it back off. Yes, Margaret, you can use more than one font. You have the capability of using, if you have Power Pack 2, I believe it is, you have the ability to, no, it's Power Pack 1 that gave you 2 fonts in Word Collage. Power Pack 2 gave you Word Collage as artwork. So if you wanted to do that Word Collage tile as artwork, you have artwork mode in Word Collage. All right, so let's see here. Yeah, I'm in agreement. The stuff that you buy on the shelves in the big box stores may not be the best vinyl that you can find. When I say big box stores, I mean your superstores that are all over the country. Um, just simply because you never know how long it's been in their warehouse, and the turnover is not as great there. Um, no, it did not. The wireless to the machine does not go back and forth between the luminaire. So no, the new models are that it goes through my design center, and the only way you can do that is with the new machine. Um, and last year or year before last, I was playing with my stepmom. Um, and we were playing with some craft vinyl that we found there because we didn't have anything. I took her a scan and cut for her to play with, and we didn't have anything down there, so we went and bought stuff, and we were making presents for her friends, and we had the same experience. The vinyl was not a great quality, um, and it would warp, it would stretch, it just was not great. So we had a very bad experience with that as well. So I feel your pain. I ended up having to slice vinyl to be able to make it flat. You thought it was going to be really good and it wasn't. So you just never know. Yeah, that's a good idea. Same thing. That's basically what I was talking about with the scraper, turning it upside down and then peeling the backing away instead of trying to lift it with the transfer tape. And as you see it, go ahead and scratch it. All right, guys. The stocking that I just did, I did not use any power packs. I did it as a I did it without power packs. Everything that I did today, you could do without any power packs. Okay. All right. Now I had a question from a viewer about not word collage, font mapping. So let me talk about font mapping here, alpha mapping. Let me delete, oops, I don't want to delete y'all's comments. I want to delete this. Control A, delete. Okay, alpha mapping. So I'm going to go to my alpha mapping tool, and I need to say new font, and I'm just going to name this one Cindy 2, just because. And I learned, you made me learn a few things about alpha mapping here, just so you know. What I learned, and you go find the font file that you want to go with. Here's the font file that she sent me to play with. And what was happening to her is that the font's supposed to be about a 1/2 inch, and it was coming in smaller. How do you change that? Well, here you go. So this one will not automatically map. You do have to drag and drop because of the way that they were set up. And you're going to have to adjust them the way you want them. But you'll notice it says that font is 0.6 inches in height. So that's what I want to do. I want to come up here and choose custom height. Now, even though I have my system unit in inches, this height is in metric. So what I did was I found myself a metric to inches converter online. So here we go. I put in 0.6 inches. It tells me that's 15.24 millimeters. All right. So that custom height there is 15.24. That will solve your problem. Okay. That will make your alpha mapping experience much better. And then you just simply drag and drop the files. So when I go back in, I've actually already done this one. I'm not going to save it, but when you save it, it will work. Let me go ahead and open the files to show you. I've already actually mapped this one. So I can show you what I did. You can see how I've moved the characters down where they need to be. And I think I got most of them where I want them to be. And there's my numbers and my and all those little characters that you're supposed to have in there. I just simply mapped them manually. So to use that font, when I come in and I click my text tool, I'm going to type in my name here, left click or click apply, and go find the OMA. I undid it OMA, and you'll see it has a C in front of it for character mapping. And now I'm going to apply it. And if we look at that, let me zoom in, you'll notice the height says 0.6 inches, and that's what you need. So to change your spacing was your other question. You can do an overall spacing change here. So if I wanted them to go closer together, I could come in and type in a -1. If I need a single letter to go closer to another one, I grab the diamond of that letter, which would be this, and drag it closer. So you grab the diamond and drag it where you need it to be. And that's how you get them closer together. Okay. So let me come in and see if I've got one more question I know I'm supposed to answer. But why do I alpha map? If you purchase a font and you want to use it like keyboard lettering, Margaret. So it's a purchase font is not really a font. They're individual letter designs. If you want to use those as keyboard lettering, you alpha map. Or in P design, it's called font mapping. So you can do it either way. So 22 on YouTube watching with 4 likes. Come on. Yeah, go to my YouTube channel as well and give me a few loves there. That's something I have not been very good about doing, is telling y'all to go like my channels. I do this as a free thing, and I appreciate you watching, and I hope you enjoy what we do. But giving me likes and thumbs up and subscribing really does help on both following on Facebook and liking and subscribing on YouTube, ringing that little bell. You'll be notified of when I go live, and it does help me. So I do appreciate it. And if you get your friends to do it, I'll be happy to have them as subscribers and likers too. So that really does help me. No, Robin, you don't need to map a true type font. Those are automatically popped in for you in BES4. You simply select true type font. All right, so there was one other question. Let me see here. And guys, also lately, Facebook has been doing some weird things. So if Facebook is not working, then you might try YouTube. And if YouTube's not working, then you can try Facebook, because sometimes you have a little issue on both places. All right, so the other question was about splitting a design, and this one's for you, Robin. So let me open up my P Design 11, and let me choose new page and pop it over there. Okay, so here we go. This is how to make a custom hoop. So if you have a design that is larger than the largest hoop that you have, okay, so I usually do this in metric, but since your design is in inches, we're going to go with inches for today. And I'll come back in and do my hoops in metric if I need to. Her largest hoop size is the 14, oh, let's see here, where is it? The 14 by 7 7/8 hoop. That's the largest hoop size on a 10 needle. You can do this for any machine that you have, okay? So we're going to choose custom size. Her design is basically 13 by 18. So if we want to change it to 13, you'll notice how it's increasing those number of hoops. So, oops, I went too far. Let's go down to 13. And I need 18 inches. Oops, I went too far. You can simply type it. That's what I'm going to do. Type in 18, press enter, and you'll notice I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are my hoopings. Oh, I forgot something there, guys. So let's go back in. Section size for hoop, you want to choose the largest section size available down there. So now I don't need as many hoops. If I choose this, let's go by width by, well, let's go ahead and leave it 13 by 18. Because I don't think, let's see, if I go 18 wide, let's try 18 wide and go 13 long. And that would be 4. So it's better the other direction, 13 by 18. Then you only have 3 hoops. So we're going to go ahead and say, okay, I would go ahead and make this one 14 inches just because, which 13.77 would be your actual dimension, because it has to be able to adjust itself. So that's your 13.7 is your actual dimension. You click OK. Your design will now be split into 4 hoops. I believe you said you wanted basically just a decorative fill. So if I come here and I grab my rectangle tool and I choose decorative fill, I can come in then and draw myself a rectangle that size. And then select my decorative fill in my sewing attributes. Let's come bring my little decorative fills over here. So pick one that you like. Click OK. Choose the size that you want it to be. You can have it maintain aspect ratio, and it'll increase it proportionally. And if you don't want an outline around the exterior, tell it not to sew the zigzag outline. Once you send that to your machine, if you look, you'll have 3 sections. So if I go down to my properties window, there's section 1. Here's section 2, and there's section 3. Okay. That is the way that one's done. I'm going to come back over here and see what we got. Yeah, there you go. I mean, reminders are great for everybody, because especially if we get going on something else. If you load a font to your computer, if you extract it and you install it to your computer, it's accessible. Either way is fine. It doesn't matter. That's so funny. Yes, it's actually, Donna, it's done does it much better than it used to, and now you can add pull compensation and things to TrueType font, so it does a pretty good job. Yes, your fonts need to be unzipped before putting them in, so I would say unzip them. Oh, so Cindy's giving y'all Facebook hints and and YouTube hints. Thanks. Okay. If you map a font, do the glyphs go with it? Usually if you have glyphs, those are TrueType fonts, or it's OpenType fonts. And they should automatically populate. If you purchased a font design that has glyphs, you'll have to figure out where to place those on the alpha map. I mean, if you don't have colons and stuff, if you were write down for yourself as a reminder where you placed the glyph, you could put it in there. What did I make? I've done 3 things today, so I don't really know what I did. I'm not real sure what your question is there. You'll find more TrueType fonts than OpenType fonts, and TrueType fonts tend to work better. And TrueType fonts work with all other programs. OpenType fonts, I believe, are only BES4. Does it? Oh, interesting. So Tamara says I'm clearer on YouTube than I am on Facebook. Maybe Facebook throttles our bandwidth. I don't know. All right, guys. I showed word collage with a stocking in BES4. I showed alpha mapping to some degree and how to make sure that your size is meeting your size in BES4. And I showed a custom hoop in PE Design 11 to show you how to create something that's larger than your largest hoop. Those are the 3 things that I did today so far. Okay, guys, do I have any other questions? And I showed what I made for my dad for Christmas. I'll show it again. Oh, yeah. There we go. Because we are Tennessee Vol fans in this area. And I didn't use the Tennessee font. I just used Tennessee, and I used a little heart that I made. Y'all want to know how I made the heart? That would be a Canvas workspace thing that I did. So let's see here. Let me see. Let's go to Canvas workspace. And if you all don't remember my little trick about how to line your heat transfer vinyls up, I'll show you that. Which is what is on my screen right here. In my opinion, PE Design 11 is worth it, just simply because I love the decorative fills. So after I've cut out all of my heat transfer vinyl parts, this one was kind of easy because it only had 2 colors, but I still wanted to make sure I was aligned and that it was square and that everything was where I wanted it to be. I'm taking my back piece. Well, I'll just leave it here so you can see it. I use a piece of rhinestone transfer tape. It has a green backing on it when you run it through your machine, and I drew on it. Let me put the backing on it here. Where did my green backing go? Well, it's flown away somewhere. So let me just put let's just put this behind it so you can see it. I used a permanent marker in my universal pen holder, and I drew my alignment light marks and my vinyl, or my alignment marks, and the what I cut. I changed it to draw and chose to, instead of cutting it, I drew it. I cut out all my pieces, and then you can see where my vinyl, where I've already peeled it off. These were my parts, and it just gave me a way to align everything up. So this was what was cut, and you see my little cut marks there. If I get it in the right light there, but that's the way I do it, and that's a great way to, it really is a super duper way to align your vinyl up. And I do it all the time. That is my favorite way of getting things. All right, guys. Let's see here. What have I got? Thanks, Charlene. I plan on having a very Merry Christmas. We have 16 coming to the house, all from Wisconsin, so yay. I am not doing sublimation, Karen, simply because I have enough on my plate as it is. I do have a heat press, and I use my heat press all the time for vinyl, but getting into sublimation at this point is not something that I want to do. That's another machine for me to have to keep running. And as a Brother brand ambassador, I kind of stay in the Brother line. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm telling you, that template thing is a game changer, is it not, Caroline? It saves so much time trying to line up the different parts. And if you can cut it right up there close together to where you can actually put them all down at one time, it really makes life simpler. But if you need to do it separately, you can still do that as well. So if you needed to put one color down, do a light press on it and then peel that one off, go back in and put your next piece down on it, put that down, do a light tack on it, peel it off. And it truly does make a huge difference. There you go. You've got the plethora of them. You've got them all. Yes, you can do, if you have BES4 Power Pack 2, you can do rhinestone designs. I'll do that for you again. I'm pretty sure I've done that for you all once. But yeah, you can use a holographic vinyl instead of instead of rhinestones, you just basically, instead of taking out the dots, you leave the dots and take away everything else. I'll be happy to revisit that with you another day. Yes, I have on Santa's today. I forgot to put on my hat. I put it. I'll give you all the full effect. All right, guys. Let me show you how I did the heart, and I'll explain my process here. So this is how I aligned it. I made myself a cross line, basically drew from one side to the other, held your shift key down and it'll make a straight line. And then I drew one up and down, same way, and then I centered them. So that's my drawing line. Let me go ahead and go File New, and I'll show you how I did my little heart. I'll save that because I don't know if I'm going to need to use that again. Here are your shapes. So over on the left-hand side, grab your shapes menu and scroll down and find the heart. Here we go. What I did was then I grabbed the shapes menu again here and scrolled up and grabbed a rectangle and smushed that rectangle down. And then I went to my edit menu and let me put this over the top of this first. I went to my edit menu. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Smush it in here. And I rotated it. So I basically wanted to find an angle that I liked. And then I copied that and I pasted it. Copy, paste, or just continue pasting. And then I went into my layers menu and I selected all of those parts holding down the shift key. And oops, well, it may be easier to move my heart than it is to move those. And I played with it until I found an arrangement that I liked. So let me grab these angles. There we go, shift key. And let's go edit. And I'm going to group those for right now together so that I don't have to worry about it. And let's change that angle. When you've got them the way you want them, right there is pretty good. Let's separate those a little bit more. So I'm going to ungroup those. Right mouse click, ungroup. And I'm going to separate those a little bit. I'm going to make those 0.3. Oh, wait. I got a little excited there. All right, so let's undo. I guess I needed to leave it at the original thing. Let's undo one more time and get them back grouped. Y'all get the concept. So then select all, come right here and choose remove overlap. And then you can simply delete the rectangles. And that's how I did my heart. That's a really slick and easy way to do the heart. So if you can't figure it out, I mean, if you can't find what you want, you can always make it. And I wanted something that was kind of divided up. You could make them further apart. You could make them closer together. If I wanted to make sure that I was doing those further apart, spaced evenly, if I want that distribute to work correctly, here's how I would do it. So let's just copy and paste here. Select them all. And then you can horizontal center, and then you can distribute them. Then you could rotate them. So let's do 0 to start at the correct space. And now let's increase. So that's too much. I think about 0.3. That would have been what I wanted to do. And then rotate them. So that will get you going. All right. No ugly sweater contest this year. That ugly sweater contest just about killed me last year, and I had too much going on in this house trying to get it. So Angela and I punted the ugly sweater. I apologize for today not being my day. Today was, they decided to do a different take, and I didn't realize that they were taking my day. So I will have 2 next month, I think, for Brother So's. And I had enough going on that I decided I did not need to join in the madness today. I thought about it, but then and I was going to pop in, but then the in-laws popped in a little early. So, instead of arriving tomorrow, they came in. Not only did they come in today, they came in today at 9 a.m. So we said, all right, I'll skip that live. So y'all have a good one. I will see you after Christmas. Let's see here. I'm looking to see what we've got. What was Thursday last? Oh, the rhinestone thing. Yeah, she did rhinestone. Oh, by the way, guys, there's an easier way to weed out the rhinestone template material than what was shown. And I don't know if May doesn't realize it or not, but you can take a piece of medical paper tape and tap it to the back of your template transfer material, and they'll pop right out. So rip it off like a Band-Aid and then take any of the extras and just tap it. I'm sure I've done a live on that as well. And I'm sure I've done one on the faux rhinestones, but I'll be happy to do another one. Maybe that's what we do next week. If I have time to set up cameras, we'll do that next week. Okay. All right, guys. You have 2 installations and basically, Abula, you have 2 activations and 6 deactivations. So technically you could have it running on 2 computers at one time. If you have to move to a new computer, you would deactivate it off that computer and then install it on a new one. The issue comes in if you have a computer crash. If you have a computer crash and you didn't get to deactivate your software first, then you have to contact Brother and try to get another activation. Because if you haven't deactivated it, you can't activate a new one. So 2 activations, 6 deactivations. Yeah, there you go. Present for all of you all. So I've got to figure out what I'm going to do for those 2. It should be in fun. So you guys enjoy yourselves. Have a great holiday. Merry Christmas to everybody. Thanks for joining me this year. Thanks for supporting me this year. It's been a blast. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you. I have 2 books, 2 BES4 books that are slightly damaged that I will not sell at full price. But I will be happy to give the first 2 people that email me a discount off of those of 20 additional dollars discounted off of them. So it would be $30 off the original price. There is nothing wrong with the book besides the fact that one of them has a little dink in the side of it, and one of them doesn't have the blank sheet of paper that's supposed to be in the back of it. Not something that I feel like I can sell. So that I can sell at full price. So if you have been waiting for a BES4 book, it's called Lettering So Easy. Contact me. It's a super deal for those 2. So I made part of my tiara. The little things here, last year I showed how to decorate. That was one of the Christmas. Oh, it's hard to do this backwards, just so y'all know. That was one of the Christmas quick, easy idea episodes we did last year. So I decorated. The tree itself came like the tree. But my Santas and these little guys right here, if I can find it, mittens, and my extra little decorations I put on it. Let's see here. All right, guys. So Amsterdam. Well, welcome to joining us here today. My email is Cindy Hogan, CINDYHOGAN @Cynthia'sEmbroidery.com. If you can't remember that, you can say info@Cynthia'sEmbroidery.com. All one word, no apostrophe. So you all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'll post it in the comments. I'm not going to leave it up there long because I don't want all the spammers that are going to get my email from this, but I'll post it in my chat for a little bit. And it is a great opportunity to get one of those books if you're interested. Okay. All right, guys. If there is nothing else, then I will say so long for today. Merry Christmas, everybody. I will see you next Tuesday. Please be sure and send in questions for next Tuesday because I don't know. After having 16 people in my house for 5 days, I don't know what I'm going to do. So please be sure and send all those questions in. I don't have anything pre-planned at this point. We may figure out something for the new year. But give me, and I actually, the idea on the teaching you how to do the faux rhinestones is an easy one. So we can certainly do that if I can get my camera set up, and I should be able to do that. Depends on what time they're leaving on Tuesday. All right, guys. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. I'll see you before the new year. So see you later. Bye-bye.